Hey guys, I just got here. I'm trying to get to the embassy. Do you guys know how to get there? Wait, hey bitch, I'm fucking talking to you. Where's hey guys, where you go? Oh shit, bitch. What's up, girl? Get it. Hey. Oh fuck. Oh wow, it's a fucking wild thought in its natural environment. What? Oh bitch. Be gone. Oh man, but thoughts will be thoughts. Anyway, let's start the video. Wait a minute, that's not right. Hold on, let me fix it. Bam. Hey, there we go. So with Fallout 76 being a complete and utter disappointment, I knew a lot of players were either going to go back to Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. Now I'm making a list for Fallout 4, but this one is a list for Fallout New Vegas. It will completely overhaul the game very subtly, I guess, but not a lot. You're not going to have Halo or anything in there, you know what I mean? But you are going to have most of all the NPCs are going to get a fresh new look, and most of all the textures are going to get a fresh new look. This bitch is kind of long, so I will be adding timestamps in the bottom description and the link to all of the mods in the video as well. So anyways, check them out. I don't want to brag, but I'll play quite a bit of New Vegas, right? They all look pretty cool. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the description below or in the comment section below, and that's it. But before we get to it, I also want to give a huge shout out to these two people right here because they've been helping me out during the live streams quite a bit, and I just want to say I do appreciate it, guys. The work doesn't go unnoticed. Huge shout out. Awesome. Alright, so one of the first things that we're going to be addressing is the color palette that Fallout New Vegas used. Now, because it's desert, they did want to use a lot of orange and browns to make it feel more like a desert, a lot of warms and stuff like that, right? Very earthy. But it's 2018, and if you guys haven't gotten sick and tired of that shit, then I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. You guys probably like Fallout 76 or even worse. I don't even know. But we're going to put some color on it and add in something a little bit that's actually more natural, in my opinion. We're going to do it with the Chromatic Melancholy E&D by DP the Sloth King. What a name. But there you go. Yeah, I like it because it makes the skies a little bit more blue. It actually makes everything a little bit more colorful, like naturally colorful, not like super candy colorful. I did use some other E&Bs before, but I didn't really like them. Some of them really saturate everything and make everything really like light toned. And with this one, it just adds color that you'd expect it to be color, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is the one that I will be always using. I got this mod, this E&B, because I used it in Fallout 3 before, because I was tired of seeing that green tint, and I used it from there. And then once I found that it got ported over to New Vegas, then I added it into New Vegas. But there is a lot of other ones. I know people like Oxhorn, they use Blackout E&B, and that does look pretty good. But for me, I like this. It's a little bit more simple, adds a lot more color to it. Another thing that makes me really like this E&B is the fact that dusk, dawn, and night all look like they're supposed to. They're not just always, you know, semi-light. No, you actually get color difference there. And that's about it, guys. You guys should definitely check it out. That way you can get something that's a little bit more vibrant in actual color. It's a desert, but you know, there's plants and animals that live in the desert, so it's not just dead. You know what I mean? Yeah, check it out. Okay, so since the E&B is out of the way, let's move on to general world textures. What I would recommend is two NMCs textures and Ojo Buenos textures. What I usually do is I get NMCs first, download the all 1, 2, and 3 parts, and then on top of that, stack then Ojo Buenos texture pack, because then that way it'll look nice and spicy. That'll take care of all your roads, all your gravel, almost every single texture in the game that's non-NPC will be taken care of through that. So there you go. So most of the Fallout series takes place in the western part of the US. Fallout 1 and 2 take place in the western part. So does Fallout New Vegas. In fact, it's this close to the rest of everything else that's happened. Big places, might I add. Now, with such close proximity to everything else, you'd figure that the architecture would be somewhat similar, and yet one thing is clearly missing from New Vegas that was in all the other games, Fallout 1 and 2, and that is the Adobe-style buildings. Now, I do know it is such a small thing to be nitpicking about, but whenever you walk near one of these Sandcrete buildings, you do feel a little bit more immersed. As if, because of the fact that everything is so close to each other, you could almost take a ride, a Brahmin ride, over to the hub or something like that and expect a similar style architecture. So I went and downloaded Classic Adobe Buildings in Mojave by Brayduck. Now, this mod is somewhat extensive, but not a lot. What I mean by that is the buildings that are made in Sandcrete are some of the bigger buildings, but every once in a while you will find random buildings, just like you did in Fallout 1 and 2. Not every single building was made out of Sandcrete. Do I love this mod? Hell yes. It adds something different to look at, and you can already tell, you can already get a sense of feeling of like the southwestern style, you know. It adds different type of architecture. It's something fresh to look at. And the buildings that are overhauled, they are extremely very well made. It has interior cells as well. The outside has been completely redone. The textures on it are incredible. I highly recommend you guys go and get this if you guys want a new look to your game. Now, I have added some videos so you can actually see what it looks like when you're actually walking around. So take a look at that, and I'll see you at the next mod, baby. All right, let's get to the main bones over here. For our first NPC overhaul, we're going to be having the New California Republic, aka the main boy NCR. We're going to have the overhaul made by DRAGBODY. Check it out. Now, there has been a lot of NCR overhauls on the Nexus for a very long time, but this one, without a doubt, is my absolute favorite. A lot of the outfits, a lot of the clothes are very World War I inspired. Most of the important NPCs have their own custom attire as well. You're going to be walking across the Mojave over here, and there's going to be a lot of different soldiers, and guess what? A lot of them are going to have different outfits as well. It's a very detailed mod. You can zoom in and look at the quality of a lot of these textures, and they do look incredible. Now, one of the big things that it does change, and it'll be very noticeable, is the faces. Now, a lot of the faces look a lot better than vanilla faces. Before this, I was using the Fallout Character Overhaul, FCO, and that did fix a lot of the faces as well, because you don't want to be looking at the same rubber looking faces you know, on your 15th, 20th, 30th, 40th playthrough of New Vegas, and this does take care of it. I will say that Fallout Character Overhaul, FCO, that mod does do a lot more faces of the NPCs. And what I mean by that is a lot of random NPCs will have very meticulously made faces. This one is more oriented toward the bigger non-playable NPCs, but that have a very important role in the game. And those faces that are made, they look fucking incredible. There's nothing that you've ever seen just like it, at least in Fallout New Vegas. And yeah, take a look for yourselves. I'm going to put a timestamp that way if you guys want to skip this, then you guys could go on to the next mod. But just take a look around and see what you guys think. I try to get as much footage of this as I could because the NCR is pretty big in the Mojave in Fallout New Vegas. So they are, because of the fact that they are very well spread out, I couldn't get every single outfit, but most of the more noticeable ones, I did capture footage of it, so you guys can take a look at it, and then you guys can decide. In my opinion, I think you guys should definitely get this mod because it will definitely overhaul your game. It'll, you know, it'll make it feel fresh. Now, like I said, I will be putting timestamps at the bottom in the description, so you guys can skip this, but I highly encourage you guys to actually check it out, so you guys can look at the detail and high quality of this mod. Alright, and now we're going to be moving on to the Brotherhood Reforged mod by DRAGBODY. Now this is actually a mashup in between two. Another one that I downloaded on top of this one is Fallout 4 power armors. And the reason I downloaded that is because, in my opinion, when you have power armor, you want to feel like you're actually in a tank. That's what the lore says. And in Fallout 3 and in Fallout New Vegas, the power armor has always felt so sleek and kind of like lightweight, which is something that I didn't really like. Now, I really couldn't capture too much footage of the power armor because of the fact that the biggest faction that wears power armor is the Brotherhood of Steel, but they are very hidden, so you don't have that. Unlike Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, in this game, the Brotherhood of Steel only has a very small role in the game. It's just another faction that you can join, you know what I mean? But this mod does also apply to the NCR, and whenever you do see an NCR trooper with a heavy armor, oh, it looks amazing. Alright guys, and now we have the Boomers, and the Boomers, they're actually one of my favorite factions because they're very self-autonomous. They fend for themselves. They don't need anybody. They don't even have to talk to anybody. They're pretty smart. They deal in a lot of like weaponry and aeronautics and stuff like that. And I just really like them because they actually don't need anybody. They take care of themselves. They grow their food. They have their shelter. They have their water, and that's why I like them. Now, a lot of their apparel that this mod does. The apparel is influenced by the weaponry and by the aeronautics. So check it out and let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and go download it. Alright, now we get to the great cons. And if I'm being 100% honest, this is probably extremely unlore friendly. But I really don't give a fuck, for the simple reason that they look awesome. Now, I know a lot of people will say that the great cons are a little bit more tribalistic than what they look like. But you know what? I just don't see them going around like in loincloths like Follows Chalks from, you know, the Honest Hearts DLC. At least with this, it gives them their own personality, makes them look like rebels, you know, like they do their own thing. They do resemble a lot like a biker gang, and I don't know, to me it seems like that would make them a little bit more tight knit, you know, like the people that they hang around, like that's their family. So to them, the Grey Cons, like it's basically one big tribe, one big family, and that's what I like about it. But with that being said, like I said earlier, it is extremely unlore friendly, but it looks awesome, you know. I mean, it's 2018, almost 2019. For those of you guys watching in 2019, come on. I mean, if you guys haven't played like New Vegas for at least 10 times by now, what the fuck are you doing? You know, get off Black Ops, get off Call of Duty, and come play this. This is way better. Get off of 76. Come on now. But anyways, yeah, check out the mod, and I will put the link in the description below. Alright, and now for Caesar's Legion, we have Caesar's New Regime by DRAGBODY. Now, I will say he does have another overhaul for the Legion, but I like this one a lot better, even though it's older and it's not quite as high definition textures compared to the other one. I like this one a lot more because, in my opinion, it's a lot more practical. Now, if you guys are interested in the other one is called Rise of the Legion. Now, in my opinion, this one's a lot more practical, though, because in order to be an actual threat and an actual fighting force in the Mojave, you can't be running around in leather football pads and cloth skirts, you know? A bullet's easy gonna go through that. But with this, it actually gives them armor. Now, as Vanilla Legion was, I don't think they were a threat, in my opinion. In order for somebody to go head-to-head, one-on-one with an NCR, they had to be packing some firepower and some good armor. Well, now they are. As they were, I don't think they could have even gone against the Great Cons, you know. But now, they're actually a threat. They look a lot more well-armored, and they're a threat. So check it out, guys. Alright, and now we're going to be moving on to the Powder Gangers. And the mod used here is another one by DRAGBODY called Powder is the New Black. Now this one does keep the original convict outfit and it just splashes a little bit of armor on that thing. Now, do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? No. And the reason is because the powders really weren't meant to ever be capable of taking over the Mojave. So they weren't really meant to be able to go against somebody like the NCR with their full force. No, they were just meant to kind of like annoy and just, you know, bitch somebody just for the hell of it. The powders basically are just a group of convicts that kind of overtook a prison and made it theirs, and that's basically just about it. It does splash a little bit of armor on them, just, you know, to make them a little bit of a threat, but not too much. They were honestly probably just featured in the game just to make the world a little bit more rich and with different factions, you know. So this is one of those smaller factions that don't necessarily play a big role, but are there, and you do encounter them, and when you do encounter them, it's kind of cool. So yeah, check it out, guys. Alright, now for the Super Mutants, we have Super Mutants HD by Palamine. And then we have something a little different called Mutant Style Fallout Classique. Now basically what that does is it'll give all the Super Mutants some HD textures. I think most of them come in 4K, and then the Mutant Style Fallout Classique, that one actually puts some of the original looking Super Mutants from Fallout 1 and 2 into your game, so that way you get like a little bit of both, because remember, some of them were created by the FEV and some of them were created by the Master, right? So those are kind of like a little bit different, even though basically at this point they're kind of both a fucking jumble of whatever, you know. But that doesn't give a fuck about lore anymore. But you know, your boy's still trying to do his thing over here, alright? But there you go, check him out. I love them. Hopefully you guys like them too. It'll be something different to look at, you know. You're like, oh, what the fuck is that? That's a Super Mutant, baby. Alright, let's go, let's keep it moving. Alright, and now we have the NPC Overhaul. And this one is made by DRAGBODY as well. But as a word of recommendation, if you guys are going to download all of the previous mod by DRAGBODY that I just showed you guys, I would recommend you guys do this one last and then overwrite all of them that it asks you to. Because I found that there's a little bit of confliction whenever you do them, you know, vice versa or whatever. Alright, now first up on the line, we have Veronica, the little wasteland cutie herself. The way she sways her hips, she's a little cutie pie. You know, if she wasn't on the other side of the swirl, hey, you know, I try to romance her. But you know what? I'm respectful. You know, I'm gonna back off. I know her cutie, her little cutie pie is stuck in the Sierra Madre helping people out. Hey, so I don't blame her fucking, you know, representing. But hey, she's a little cutie pie. The textures are amazing. DRAGBODY did an amazing job. And yeah. Next in line, it's Doc Mitchell, and let me tell you, whenever you first boot up the game and you see his face, you can just already tell this is gonna be a different game because the textures look completely different. They modeled him completely different, and it just looks good. He looks like an old man stuck in the desert, whatever. Up next is Arcade Gannon, aka Donald Trump's Ultimate Fantasy. Now the textures that DRAGBODY did for this one just look incredible. Even if you zoom in, everything looks great. The outfit has been redone. He has different boots, so that's incredible. So yeah, check it out, guys. Alright, now we have Dr. Henry in Jacobstown. And once again, like every other NPC, DRAGBODY has meticulously put a lot of detail into his outfit and his creation, and it just looks great. I like his outfit. I mean, he has rubber gloves. It looks like a surgeon or some shit. It looks pretty cool, man. And last but not least, the big Hoffa himself, Boone. This guy looks fantastic. His model looks a little bit bigger, more muscular. He looks like he's been through some shit. He's got scars. He looks pretty badass. The DRAGBODY paid very, very good attention to the detail that he did on him, and you could tell because I know a lot of people will play with Boone, and he probably knew that, so he knew that he'd have to go, you know, all out and be very meticulous with this, and he did, guys. Check it out. And just really quick, I really wanted to add this. This is going to be something really fast. Get Weapons of New Millennia by Millennia and Naki. And this is just going to give you a whole bunch of extremely well-made, high-textured weapons. And just get that. It gets you a whole fuck ton of weapons, and you'll be good. And alright, boys, that is gonna be it for it. If you guys watched the whole fucking thing, I highly appreciate it. If you didn't, hey, great. At least you fucking gave me a view, right? Now, I know there's a lot of mods that I could have shown that will tell you, you know, that you'll get a better gaming experience and stuff like that. You know, like the patches and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of people already talk about. These mods that I presented to you will basically have like a really big impact on your game whenever you whenever you play. It's going to be a huge surprise if you get all of them and you start playing them. You know, the E&B, the ground textures, the road textures, the doors, the wood, everything is going to be completely better. And then, you know, with the NPCs, you're definitely going to get a way better experience because, like I said, now you're not looking at something that's just completely orange and brown, right? You're going to get a whole new gaming experience. Now, there's other mods that I could have put in here, like War Zones. War Zones turns the Mojave into an actual War Zones. It makes it lively. I've always said that people need to get that mod because the Mojave's biggest problem is that everybody talks about how there's a struggle and there's a war for the Hoover Dam, but you never really see the war until you get to the Hoover Dam. But with War Zones, you have a lot of like mini battles, and if you guys are interested in that, get that. I didn't get footage of it because I didn't really think about it until like right now that I'm finishing editing this thing. But you guys should definitely check that out. If there's any other mods that you recommend, put them in the link below. Well, not the link, the fucking description. I'm a moron. Yeah, put them in the comment section below, and yeah, pin them. I'll pin them. That way a lot of people can get it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and guys, I will talk to you guys again some other day. Please like, subscribe, and other than that, deuces.